Hi, hello. Happy Sunday. My apologies for this coming in so late. Welcome to English Composition 1102. My name is Professor Catherine Young, and I will be your instructor to Introduction to Literature. So, this term we are going to cover the three big genres of literature, which are fiction, poetry, and drama. Participation in class discussion, like the discussion post, is really strongly encouraged, primarily because when we read literature, we receive it based on our experiences. So a lot of times having these diverse perspectives really kind of bring to light instances that you may not notice in said literature. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that I've been teaching for 7 years English composition too, and I have read these stories. I couldn't tell you how many times, just countless times from the time whenever I was in college coming up until now teaching it. So I have done really deep studies on these stories and other forms of literature. But the thing is every time I have like a class discussion or kind of learn students' viewpoints from the literature, I end up seeing something that I've never really seen before. Maybe it's because I don't see it because I don't have that experience to recognize that in that one particular thing. So class discussions are super, super, super important. So there will be multiple discussion posts throughout the term. Um, Along with those discussion poems, there's going to be a poetry essay in which you're just going to select one or two poems and write a little bit of a research paper on it. When it comes to the poetry essay, the topics are all very open. That's, I guess, the best way I can put it. I offer the different poems that we cover in class, but you're not just limited to just those poems. So, say for instance, and I will say this on the poetry video as well, but say for instance, you want to take one of the poems that was written in the 60s, kind of written on behalf of the women's equal rights amendment law, because that was a big thing in the 60s, and it inspired a lot of different pieces of writing. And say, for instance, you read over one and you're like, that really kind of resonates, but it also kind of looks like what's happening now or what's happened or what happened 10 years ago. And you can use those as like a kind of a compare contrast of how like art imitates life. Or even life imitating art. That often happens as well. You'll see that with some of our fiction stories, particularly Ray Bradbury. He writes a lot of science fiction that you would, when it was written in the 1950s, you would have never have considered. But now we're kind of like, that could happen. So uh, you are totally more than able to select that type of essay versus just writing about the poem. If you find something, if you read that poem or poems and you're like, this reminds me of such and such, and you want to include that other with the poems, please, that is more than welcome. um let's see here. And then when it comes to the drama section, we're going to read over a play and or read slash watch over a play and then kind of watch a modern adaptation of said play. Um, I don't know if anyone's ever heard of the film She's the Man with Amanda Bynes and Channing Tatum, but that entire film. The plot is centered around Shakespeare's Twelfth Night. So it's nice to kind of see how that kind of scenario or plot line is it's just part of the ages. I guess it's not like a specific time frame type situation. Um, what you can do though is look over the tentative schedule. The tentative schedule on Canvas will take you everywhere or show you everything that we're going to do all term. I know that this is a a shorter term, so it may feel very quick, but just in contact with me. I will also keep in contact with all of you. So the goal is of course for you to get through the class, but to also take something from the class that you can apply elsewhere, whether that be research or just looking at something from a different perspective, or seeing how vocabulary has kind of changed over time. There's a lot of different things that I hope that you will take from the class. But the tentative schedule does kind of review everything. Like I said, everything is going to run pretty quickly. However, I we've got this. We can do this. So that is the tentative schedule. You will also find on the under the modules um, little shell our syllabus, our class syllabus. This class syllabus contains like pretty much every bit of information if that you may need from me. I have a Zoom link below on the top. My office hours are currently pending as far as in-person office hours, but my online office hours, um, it's basically you just tell me you need to meet with me and we'll meet. Um, or if you need to meet with me on campus, we can do that as well. Um, if you need to get in touch with me, please email me. I am pretty quick at getting back through email or via email. I have the notifications turned on my phone, so anytime I get a message, I kind of get notified. Um, so yeah, I'm pretty quick when it comes to emailing back. If you end up having to send me something via email, like a class assignment, and I am tardy on putting the grade in, please email me and remind me. Another thing, if on the assignment you leave me a comment on the submission box, just know that I don't get notifications for that. So I try to just tell every student, if you need to get in touch with me, you can either um, email me, or you can, oop, that's not what I wanted to do. You can either email me, or where am I going? Oh, either email me or you can message me through Canvas message. Basically just hitting the inbox, hitting this little compose a new message little box, select course, be our course, um, and then you could just find me under teachers. Well, where'd I go? Oh, I had to click myself, sorry. And then you could send me a message this way. I also get this. Um, but as long as you send out an email, that would probably be the best bet, um, just to ensure that I get your email or get whatever you're trying to get to me. Go back to our page here, and I'm going to go back to the modules and the syllabus. My apologies on kind of rambling off there. Just want to make sure I cover everything. No stone left unturned, I suppose. Anywho, back to the syllabus. Basically goes through course description, how you will have interpretive and critical reading of fiction, drama, and poetry, um, and basically a lot of analysis and research. There is a student learning or outcomes, the Florida Department of Education student learning outcomes, and Northwest Florida's student learning outcomes. You can read through those. Um, course materials. The course materials are primarily just the Introduction to Literature 14th Portable Edition. On the Welcome to video, I have a visual of the book. However, this book is optional. It's not required to have this book. I know some students prefer to have a tangible copy, but this is our last term with this book. So I didn't want anybody to have to purchase it or feel as though they needed to purchase it and then not be able to sell it back. Even though if you do want to purchase it, you can sell it back on a website like Chegg or even Amazon. You just can't sell it back to the bookstore. If you are the type who prefers a book, and I might have a few on hand to loan out, just please let me know. But just know that everything that we reference this entire term, it's all going to be on PowerPoints. So the text is optional for this summer term. Student expectations and resources. You can go through, and if you need to kind of see any of the or schools um, policies regarding any of the little extras that go with school, whether academic integrity, accommodations. If you need accommodations for anything, always reach out. Attendance, tutoring services, counseling services, code of conduct, complaints, and rights and responsibilities. Below this, I have makeup work. Because this is a mini mester, I will accept late work on everything depending on the tardiness. We'll deduct points. So we'll say if your assignment is a week late, then it'll start to be deducted, but not, I'm gonna forego the 2-day grace period and make it a week. How about that? That because I know, we live in such a busy area. So for those who have jobs or families or anything, I get it. I completely understand. I was that student as well. So yeah. Or if you are still doing high school courses and dual enrolling, you got the grace. So we'll say about a week. That's when I'll deduct 5 points. Let's see here. This is the assignments grading scheme and procedures. Kind of just goes through how discussion posts are worth 50 points. The fiction test is worth 150. The poetry rough draft and final draft equates to 250 points. Drama 150 points for the drama test, and then you have the introduction assignments. Let's see here. This course is entirely online. Students must provide devices to access and complete this class online. If you have any questions, if you ever have any issues with any tech problems, just let me know. We'll get you where you need to be. Excuse me. I use Turnitin. It's an online plagiarism detector and also an AI tester as well. I'm trying something new this term though. AI is kind of it's here to stay. It's gonna be here. Like I don't think anything's going to change it at this point. So I am trying to figure out things to kind of utilize AI for. So, um still the same rule applies as far as no AI allowed. However, I am allowing AI to be used to help outline or to help outline your essay, maybe help generate topic, um, and then also with sentence structure and feedback. And then we're going to review. I will post the best practices for using AI, likely this week. So please have a look out for that one. Um, Academic continuity plan. That just basically means that if we have another something crazy, like COVID, we will be just fine. We're online, so that really doesn't affect us too much. So, but just in case, I know the school is really good about sending out messages if there's ever an emergency. So, okay. So back to the modules page. As you can see, the first module is just all of the first week assignments. That's just kind of letting me know that you are going to take the class, that you agree to the syllabus. Um, and that is I used these two quizzes for like school purposes. That's how I tell the school that you were involved in the class. So there is also a Zoom link. This you all you have to do is just send me an email and say I would like to set up a meeting, and we will make it work. Let's see here. And currently, right now, we're just going over analyzing literature with next week starting up fiction. So I'm super excited for the term. I hope you are all as well. Um, if you need anything, please let me know. And all right, here's to a good term. All right, thanks a lot, everyone.